some more hardware hacking, continuing on with that router that we have been trying to work on and hack together for the last few times that I've streamed outside of announcements or course release streams. So anyway, welcome to have everyone here. Got lots of people in chat want to say hi to. Zen Carter first. Good to see you. We got Hamza here coming in second. Good to see you, Hamza. How are people doing today? Hello from Canada. Nice to have people here from all over the place. Tuning in from Nigeria. You built a Marauder just like me. Awesome. Love it. I had a lot of fun with that thing. I still got mine. I did some Wi-Fi hacking with it earlier this year, but I haven't played around with it much since then. So I'm itching to build something else though. I wonder what I should. Anyone have any recommendations for anything else that I should build? Thank you. Yeah, so I moved a while back to a new spot, and I got an office and studio set up in the basement here, and I painted it black and put some artwork up, and I got my plant here. This side, everyone, you got to have the fake plant. It's important. So I got a fake plant too here. So looks good. Fellow Canadian, welcome. Welcome from India. Got a few folks from India hopping in here. Love to see it. People from all over. From Bangladesh. Cool. Awesome. Lots of folks here from India. Someone from Russia. We got people from like all the continents and everything here. That is awesome. All right. Question here. What do you think about the future of cybersecurity and red teaming in India and globally? I think it's strong. I think it's strong in all markets because there's just so many threats. In my opinion, AI is going to make more issues for cybersecurity and require more testing in the near future. So I think it's still strong. We're kind of in like a dip right now. The whole market is, but cybercrime's not going to stop. So I think it's going to continue. And right now, I think like the defenders are behind the curve on AI. Alrighty, let's see what we got going on in the chat here. Well, we got some stuff going on in the chat. I do want to talk about a few things here. So the first one is, if you take a look at the banner down below here, we've got the Black Friday sale live right now. So we usually run this Black Friday sale in November, and that's no different right now. We are running it, and we have some awesome discounts that I want to show here. So I'm going to go and I'll just pull up the website here so I can make sure I don't miss any of the details. Let me see here. Yeah, Brit's dropping this. Thank you in the chat here. Go launch that up, open it up, and take a look at it yourself as well. Use my own link instead of Googling for it. Alrighty, where's my OBS? Okay, so there's a bunch of sales we got running right now. Biggest one, or the biggest savings, is our all access membership. So you can get 50% off on this. So for example, if you want to take the new AI hacking course or any of the courses, you can get access for as low as $14.99. So that's 1 month. Another thing you can do too is if you come down here and you could, for example, do this one. So you get 50% off, but then it also stacks with the other discount. So for $150, you can get 1 year access. We pretty much run this sale usually around this time in November. Like it's a once a year thing usually. So I know a lot of people, they'll just go and buy their 1 year 1 year membership right now, and then when it's going to expire, you can just keep getting it. And this is the cheapest way to do this because you can get it for like, I don't know, it's like a little bit over $10 a month. Really good deal. And then let's see if I can find the cert. I want to find the certs one too. Black Dash Friday. Yeah, it's TCM dot rocks / Black Dash Friday. Yeah, so here, this one's got all of the details though, because we're not just running the Academy sale as well for this Black Friday. So again, you get 50% off Academy memberships, which is cool. 20% off live training classes, 20% off cert vouchers, which is awesome. So if you want to grab a cert, then you can. Oh, and the cool thing is our live classes now come with exam vouchers. So really good deal. And you can get 20% off that. So, I mean, you can buy this for like future classes too. It doesn't need to be like right now. You can book them out in advance. So yeah, some really good deals here. And then this is super cool, but if you buy a bundle or live training seat, you get a free Microsoft Security Copilot workshop. So you get like a whole extra training, which is pretty cool. This one usually sells, I don't know what the price is, but it's not cheap. So you get this for free included, which is awesome. So you get 20% off, plus you get this for free. And then if you want the maximum savings, though, you get these massive bundles here. Got the professional pen tester bundle, the ultimate hacking defending bundle, and our professional defender bundle, which is coming soon. And you'll notice it includes the PSAP, which I've been told is coming out on Friday. So I know a lot of people have been asking about the PSAP, that is the Practical SOC Analyst Professional by Andrew Prince, and it goes with the SOC 201 course, and that is coming out most likely Friday, unless there's some sort of delay or hiccup. It'll be out on Friday, which a lot of people have been asking about. So you can take advantage of this sale. I think at the bundle or even just the cert on its own at 20% off. Super cool to see. You can get all the details here. It's going to be running. Usually it'll run until December 1st. And also, yeah, if you buy a bundle, you can get 1 year mentorship with Heath Adams as well. So you'll be entered into a drawing, which is super cool because Heath is an amazing mentor. He's not just called the cyber mentor for no reason. And even if it's just like career guidance or whatever, it is awesome to get a chance to chat with Heath and be mentored by him. He's incredibly smart and talented entrepreneur and cybersecurity professional, and he knows his stuff. So this is an insanely valuable thing actually to have a year of membership with him. He was at Harvard Business School. The guy knows his stuff. So I would 100% recommend checking this out if you can. And if it's not in your budget right now, also, if you go to the Academy, we do have our free tier. So definitely worth checking out as well. So there was one other thing I wanted to showcase as well. Let's go here. We're going to go, it is AI Hacking 101. Here we go. Let's find this. Here we go. Had all these links pulled up before, and then my computer crashed. So it's fun times. So this course we launched last Wednesday. It is, wow, crazy. It's been a week already since that happened. The AI Hacking 101 course. And this is one of the courses I created. I've been working on it for the last while. Had a lot of fun making this course. So yeah, if you want to try this course, now's a good time too with the Black Friday sale. The course 6 hours. So you can definitely take it in a month with that $14.99. And this, we go over a whole bunch of stuff: prompt injection, jailbreaking, beating RAG, getting things out of RAG, improper output handling, getting out the system prompts. I had a lot of fun making this course, and I think it's a really good thing to add to your toolkit in 2025 and 2026. So definitely recommend checking this out. Maybe Brett can drop a link to this one in chat. But yeah, exciting stuff going on at TCM right now for sure. All right, I'm going to catch back up with chat here. So let's see. What are people saying here on chat? Wow, there's a lot of people in chat here today. So that is really cool to see. All right, picking back up here. Flipper Zero hacks recommendations. Oh, I've been wanting to make this cool YouTube video that's like top 3 or maybe top 5 things you can do with your Flipper Zero that won't land you in jail. I was gonna follow it up with like top 5 that could land you in jail. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. I'm gonna make that YouTube video because I have my Flipper Zero sitting in my desk and I never use it. So I really should check that out or use it more because right now I definitely haven't got my money's worth from it. And I feel like there's a lot of people that are in the same boat. Like if you if you have a Flipper Zero sitting in your desk that you rarely use, let me know in chat. I'm not calling you out. I'm in the same boat. I barely touch mine. I am not going to NullCon Goa 2026. However, it does sound cool. I've heard NullCon is cool, so definitely is a cool conference. Well, that is a tough question. It really depends what you want to do, but you should check out our blog, How to Be an Ethical Hacker in 2025. And then there is going to be, I believe, a blog coming out that's like how to be a SOC analyst in 2025. So you should definitely check those out. I think that's a good resource. Okay. Saw some other good ones here. You want to be a black hat hacker. We only do ethical hacking here, so I cannot help you with that. I would suggest don't go down that path because usually that roadmap usually ends in jail. So don't suggest doing that one. Right on. Yes. Honestly, I used to do this back in the day. I made a video about it. I made like a joke video with I made a joke video with Heath about this last year with like our tinfoil hats and stuff where I was saying like TCM doesn't want you to know about this, but we do it on purpose basically. So like it's the cheapest way. You can just keep getting it every year at that time and it's like yeah, $10 a year, 10 almost like $10 a month or something. Can you understand and work with IoT doing computer science, not designing or super deep understanding? Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. For sure. Computer science is a great resource. It's, IoT stuff's it's a lot of like low level stuff, understanding assembly, um, like C, understanding C and reading C, networking, strong networking. It's all the core stuff that you learn, like the basics of computer science. 100%, 100%. I didn't get it. which email address? I would like to try check it out though. If you go to links.digitalandrew.io, you can see my GitHub. You can send me a message there and I'll check it out. Ooh, we got Alex here in the stream. Good to see you, Alex. Missing you, buddy. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, missing having you here. That's for sure. You're on a train that's broken down. Oh, well, what better time than to tune into the TCM live stream? What kind of gaps do you think a computer engineer would need to close in order to get into a career in IoT hacking? Um, when I did some computer engineering stuff, I don't remember learning like anything about reverse engineering. So IoT hacking is a lot of reverse engineering. So that's probably the biggest one, to be honest. And then I mean, it depends how much you learned about how to use the different tools, electrical engineering tools that we sometimes need, depending on what you want to be doing. If you want to be doing more complex hardware hacking, but IoT hacking specifically is a lot of reverse engineering. So really, it would just be that's probably the biggest gap. That and understanding like how to develop exploits and write exploits if you want to be doing like custom exploitation. It's probably the biggest one. Are you going to add more lessons to free courses? Yeah, probably. Probably will. I mean, just so I did a lot of free tier stuff this year, actually. Like started out, I guess it was last year was the help desk, but I did security fundamentals and AI 101, the fundamentals in free tier. So I've spent a lot of time actually on free tier this year. So I'm definitely going to be doing some of the paid side for the next little while. I think it's ultimately it's not fully my call the way that it works, but definitely will be adding more at some point, probably next year. Can I rate your Try Hack Me account? I would rate it 8 out of 8. Looks great. Mate. I don't know if anyone knows that reference or if I'm. Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, I kind of want to do those. The only thing is like that kind of stuff. I guess if you're just picking up and not transmitting, then that's okay. But that kind of stuff always makes me nervous for the showing it online because I don't want anyone to get in trouble with the FCC and whatnot. Yeah, Alex doesn't use his flipper. I know Alex and I have talked about this before. Yeah, exactly. Although the Marauder you can get an attachment for. You can get a Marauder attachment for your flipper, which is kind of cool. Ooh, you're finishing up the help desk course. I think you'll have fun with it. It is a fun course. Your 4-year-old uses your flipper more than you. What does your 4-year-old use it for? I have a 4-year-old too. I probably wouldn't let him touch it though, because he would just break it. That's the yeah. Yeah, we just do only ethical hacking here. No, no, not. I mean, I'm wearing a black hat, but I am not. We don't, yeah, we don't break the law around here. Do I plan to go to the 2026 Singapore Black Hat Conference? Probably not, because that's a lot of travel. I have a 4-year-old, and life is busy right now, so it is tough for me to be on the road that much. In 2026, I would like to go to at least one conference somewhere, though. Maybe try and speak. For IoT hacking in cybersecurity, for red teaming, it's logic to get a task like, for example, try to find a hack a web camera in specified location. No, that I wouldn't say that that's nearly as common a thing. Um, like you would see in the movies, like we need to get into this camera. Usually it's like, oh, we can use this camera to get into the network, if that makes sense. I would say nowadays they do. Because the reality is right now it's very competitive to land any jobs really, but tech jobs also. And other people are going to have certificates. They're going to have education certificates, whatnot, and you're up against them. And if there's like sometimes thousands of people applying to a job, the recruiter's got to sift through those resumes. And unless you're really good at networking and you know the person or something, you have some foot in, probably going to pick the people with the certificates because they do provide some proof that you know some things or that you've put some time in to help you differentiate. So it is a reality right now. It wasn't always this way, but yeah, right now in this specific market, it's tough to get around that unless you're like very, very good at networking or you have like significant industry experience. Man, your 4-year-old is more more advanced than me. Bluetooth man, that's funny. That's funny. He's like an APT, advanced persistent toddler. Love it. All right, got a whole bunch of. There's so many people here. This is awesome. All this chat, love to see it. With AI, help automate playbook, run books, create analyze. Yeah, you gotta still know the technical stuff in the background. You 100% sure. You need to learn that technical hands-on stuff. You cannot rely just on the AI tools. And if you want to be landing a job, they're still going to be asking you about knowing that stuff. It's still important to know. I agree. Love me some blue team content. There is going to be lots coming out. Before, we did not have a full-time blue team content creator. Since Prince started, he has just been working full-time on blue team. And while there may not be as many courses, you may notice Prince makes very detailed courses. So like the SOC 101 and 201, there's like over 50 hours of content there. So even though there's as many courses, if you look at hours, there's actually a lot of hours. But I do agree, and there will be more blue team content. There's a new cert coming out on Friday, blue team cert, and then after that there'll be another blue team course, and they'll keep coming. So I agree. No, I don't. I don't think you should focus entirely on it. It can be good to add to broaden your horizon, but yeah, the the best ones for IoT are like private bug bounties and things like that. But yeah, it's definitely not like a game changer as far as like, oh, this is going to make all the difference for me in bug bounty. Okay. Yes, I heard the beta test reviews for the Peace app were amazing. So yeah, super cool to see those rolling in. I cannot wait to see it get out. Oh, here's a good question. To become a hacker, do you need to learn mangy subjects in IT? I'm guessing you're saying many. Yeah, you need to know a lot of stuff to become a hacker. I mean, you don't need to know everything, but it's definitely like more advanced part, like role in IT or cybersecurity. If you want to be like a penetration tester, I mean, anyone can become a hacker. You don't need to like, I don't know. Yeah, just start taking stuff apart, breaking it, figuring out how it works ethically, of course. Okay. So we switched over to white hat. Love to see it. Maybe Britt can drop the link to this, but there is a how to be an ethical hacker in 2025 or 2026. I don't remember what year we're on right now, roadmap. But check that out. A bunch of the resources are free. You can take the PEH course. That's a practical ethical hacking course on YouTube. So 100%, you should check that out. That's your best bet, and do it ethically. Okay. I'm going to see if I can get my top down camera working again now since my computer crashed. Let's see. I'm going to switch to it. We may go to a black screen here though. So let's see. Yeah, no luck. All right. I'm going to hop over to my camera, turn it back on again. So I will just, you'll just have to look at my beautiful artwork for the next minute or so. And then I'm going to see if I can get this camera working. We'll do some hardware hacking here. key. Okay, let's see. Black screen, or is it going to work now? Ooh, perfect. All right, we got it working. Awesome. Okay. Okay, I got my camera working. Let's see. Yeah, perfect. Cool. Okay, so before we hop over to that, I just want to talk about what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be voiding some warranties today by, well, we really already did, but the last two times we were at this, we found the first time we found a UART shell. We were able to connect to it, but we could not get, we could see like the boot logs and read from it. We could get a prompt, but we needed a password. So we tried a bunch, could not get in. Then the last stream, we were trying to get the firmware off of the chip, but we could not do in circuit read. We tried a bunch of stuff. We had the oscilloscope out, and I could see that it was getting blocked by the board. We tried lifting a few chips, but I think we need to take the whole thing off of the board. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to fire up the hot air gun here, and we're going to see if we can pull the chip off the board and then extract the firmware that way, and we'll see how far we get. And then if we get that working, we'll start reverse engineering stuff, looking for vulnerabilities, all that jazz. So I'm gonna hop over now to my workbench over here, and we'll do the chip off. I got a mic over there, so you should be able to hear me, hopefully, over there as well. And I will be checking the chat, so please let me know in chat. You got questions about what we're doing, comments, general stuff, please let me know. I'm gonna go see if I can do this now live on stream without breaking anything. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Can someone let me know in chat if they can hear me, actually? Because I'm over at my other microphone. I just want to check to make sure I'm not going to be talking to myself here. Okay, Brett said she could hear me, so that's good enough for now. Can bring this mic a little bit closer here too. Okay, so we've got this chip right here, which is the flash chip. So what we're going to be doing is trying to pull this off. So before we lifted up some of the pins on it, but that wasn't enough. So probably maybe should have just started with this, but we're going to be using a hot air gun to melt the solder on this and then pull this chip up. So I got my handy dandy third hand set up here. We'll pop this on here. Okay, and then the next thing we need to do is prep this area. So this is definitely not something you have to do, but I like to put this here. So it's going to be hard to see, but there's some just really tiny surface mount components here, and it's really easy to just blow them off when you are using the hot air gun. So this is a tape called Clapton tape. It's a heat resistant masking tape. So I like to put this on over top of anything that I don't want to melt. So it's nice because it's heat resistant. So we'll just put it over here because we don't want to, this is where those surface mount components are. Perfect. And then a little bit on the other side. Okay. All righty. Just going to check chat quickly here. All right, perfect. Just making sure I'm not talking to myself here. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do here is I got some flux. So this stuff just helps solder flow and melt and distributes the heat more evenly. So this is gonna make our lives a lot easier here if we throw some flux down on here. So I like this one, but I mean, you don't. There's a bunch of different kinds. This one's been good for me though. I like how it comes in the tube because you kind of don't want to get this stuff all over you. It's sticky and gross, and yeah, so it just squirts out like a syringe. So we're going to put a whole bunch of flux on here and some more over here. Perfect. And then some here, because on this chip, I believe there is a ground plane under here, which is soldered to, which makes doing this hot air extraction much harder because it's going to sink all of the heat into the ground plane that it's attached to. So I got here, I'll show quickly. Bring it on camera here. This is my hot air gun right here. So it's a hot air solder rework station. So what this does is just blows hot air. And so we're going to be blowing hot air all over this guy. And then I'll have my tweezers here and we'll wait until it loosens up enough that we can pull this chip off here. So I'm going to start, I usually start like a little bit ways away from the chip, even just like to preheat the area before we come in close with the hot air, like right on it. But right now I'm just like trying to get the whole area like a little bit hot. It helps when you've got ground planes as well, and then we'll come in closer. The best thing to do with this though, if you're struggling, is like go low and slow and patient is your best bet. You don't want to go fast or else you risk damaging stuff. So, but preheating the whole area just helps with these ground planes, getting everything nice and hot. And then I'm going to come in now a little bit closer and you'll see our flux start going there. And we just want to do like some small circles. See, I'm not even touching it yet because I know this is going to take a while to see here. No, it's still on there solid. Yeah, there's definitely a ground plane under here for sure. Just gonna bump up the air a little bit here now. Starting to come here. There we go. Okay. Pop this bad boy off here. We got it. So yeah, this is why it's hard to get these ones off, because you can see the soldered to this grounds here. This is like just helps with interference and stuff. So this is all was soldered down. So the two pads were not in good shape from when I cut them, but the other pads look good. So I mean, that was a good pull off. Looks like all of our other components here are fine as well underneath our masking tape. So good to see. And now what I like to do here with the chip is, let's see. So I got some 70% isopropyl because this stuff is nasty. The flux will make it all sticky. So we'll clean this up a bit and then we'll pop it into our flash reader here. Just a little bit of isopropyl here. Oops. Clean it up real nice like. Oops, make it less sticky. Okay. It is real sticky from that flux. If you got rubbing alcohol too on here, you can just, a little bit too much, you can just hit it with the heat. It evaporates real quick. And we'll just try and lift up this so we can here. Okay, cleaned up not too bad here. And then one sec here, let me just set this guy down on my anti-static mat here. And just bring over. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I've got this adapter here for this chip. So I'll pop this into this adapter, and then I'm going to use my XGecko programmer, and I'll show how to load that in here. So let me just pop this, grab this chip here though. Okay, so the chip here. And so I'm just going to be popping it into here. Mm-hmm. Make sure it's nicely seated. So I got it nicely seated in here, and then just grab the XGecko so you guys can see what it looks like, or hop back to the computer and see if we can read this. Okay, so this is my XGecko T56. This is like a universal flash programmer. Absolutely love this thing. Can read so many chips. If you can't get something else working, probably get this one working. And yeah, you can get a handful of adapters like this one and all different types of chips. So if you look at this though, it shows you the orientation. So that circle should be down. So if you can, I don't know if you can see, but mine's right here. And I can just look at the markings now. And it is I already looked at these. It's a wind bond 2.5 something. It's a common one though, really common one. Okay, so I'm going to pop it in so it matches the orientation of how this one should be. We just pull this down, locks it in place. Now let's see if we can read this chip or if we burned it out when we did that. Okay, I'm back at my computer. Yeah, you guys could hear me. Cool, 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 cool. Can I describe this process in the style of Bob Ross? That would be cool. I have a blog post about this on TCM. You really don't need a lot of money to get started, to be honest. Even like that's a cheap hot air rework station. Works just fine. Yeah, we're heating up this happy little chip. I hope we didn't heat it up too much. Yeah, very sticky. That's the thing with flux. It works well, but it's just messy and yucky. Not good to breathe in, so you should use an air extractor for sure. Okay, let's now pull up the old trusty terminal here, and then we will do some hacking, hopefully. Okay, so I need a folder for this. Yeah, let's clear this out of here. Okay, so the thing with XGecko's that used to be, where do you buy this stuff? XGecko, you that one get from AliExpress is the best way. That's the best spot to get that. The hot air rework station I just got off Amazon, but you could also get off of AliExpress. So yeah, Amazon, AliExpress, lots of good hardware hacking tools and like electronics repair and all that stuff. AliExpress, really good spot to check that out. Yeah, 100%. The preheater works very well, or like some people even just use like a hot plate or things like that to get it up to temp. So luckily this one, like the ground plane's not too big. So, but yeah, that can definitely help as well. Yeah, here, this I wrote this because yeah, I always hear people saying it's too expensive, and that's okay to say that because like that is it kind of was true at one point, and it's also like for whatever reason there's just this myth that like this stuff is so expensive, but it's really not. Yeah, you don't need to spend a huge amount of money if you want to do this. Okay, so I'm going to be using software called Mini Pro because the one thing with the XGecko is before you had to use like the super sketchy Windows software from the XGecko maker, and like Windows says it's malware, and like I think it's fine, but like everything is in Chinese too and stuff. But then some hero made an open source version that works pretty well and runs on Linux then without using Wine. So I've been using that and it works really well. It's called Mini Pro. So if you just Google like Mini Pro XGecko, you can find the repo for it. And yeah, I was playing around with it yesterday with another chip I had of this one. And it was working just great, just to make sure. But let's go here and make sure it's connected. Yeah, okay, perfect. So found this one. It says the support is experimental. That's okay. I'm experimental too. So let's see if we can get this reading here. So is it Mini Pro -P? So this is the chip. So I was just looking at this last night actually to double check and make sure. So this is the marking off of that chip. It's the WinBond 25Q64JV. So if you don't have a microscope, one trick you can do is I just use my phone camera. Yeah, I just use my phone camera and zoom in, and I could read the markings on this chip. So this is telling it what chip it is. So it has a shot at reading it, and then that's the P, and then the -R tenda.bin. That is just what I'm going to call this. So .bin file. So let's see if this is going to work. It's reading the code. Cool. Okay. So let's see what we got here. We got this tenda.bin. I always like to run a file on tenda.bin first. Says data. We can run binwalk on it here. So let's just run it first on here. And this is what we like to see because now we got to the file system here. So we can talk about what we're seeing here. We get the UImage header here. Got some, I don't know what this would be. Interesting to see. Got our entry point. You can tell. So this is a MIPS architecture for this router, which really common to see for routers. They run MIPS. This, if you're not familiar with that, what that is, that's another architecture, kind of like ARM or x86. It's an old one, and I really, for whatever reason, all the routers seem to be MIPS. That's where you really only see that these days. And then down here, we've got what we would be interested in seeing here. So let me move my face out of the way quickly. You can see what version of Linux it is. So interestingly, so if you look, this is quite an old version of Linux. It looks like it's their like fork of it, Tenda. And then this is though what we really wanted to see, squashfs file system. So this is the root file system for the router. And I don't know why my camera crashed, whatever. Okay, camera, no camera right now. That's okay though. Okay, so now what we can do though is pull out the root file system here, and we can start taking a look at what is inside of it. So let's do that next. So we'll clear this away. And then we are going to use binwalk here. So we'll go binwalk -M-E. So the M is recursive. So it means like just keep going and extracting everything you can. And the E is extract. So we'll go tenda.bin here. And so what this is going to do with binwalk now, and what binwalk's great for, is it's going to carve out all the sections of the firmware that it was able to identify. So we already saw it identified, for example, the squashfs root file system and all those areas. And what we're interested in is that root file system, because I have a guess it's probably going to contain some details for how we can get into the UART session, for example, and then we can start reverse engineering some other stuff. So let's let this run through. List this out. So clear this. Let me hide this too. Okay. Now let us go into it. So by default, it always names it this underscore and then the name of it. Perfect. And then now let's list this out here. Cool. So we've got our squashfs root here. So we'll go into there, and then we'll just do some enumeration here. List this out. Okay. So let's see what's in bin here. Okay, so we got this, all the binaries here. Just, I like to take a quick look here. It looks like we have some shell scripts in here. And then usually, so what I'm looking for here, just on this like quick enumeration, is if there's anything that looks custom. So like that km_cmd looks good. Got this, some shell scripts here that look interesting to me. Some init scripts, this, whatever this 8 underscore init is. These don't look like common ones. 88 IP. So a bunch of like what seems like not common ones, and then also interesting to see like some .sh, because we can just read those. So if we go like cat, I don't know, jsh n.sh, I haven't looked at any of this stuff yet. Some sort of JSON script for getting JSON values, parsing and generating JSON. Interesting. Okay. Okay, interesting. Looks like some way to log in here. Okay, interesting. Maybe use that later. Any other SH scripts here? Notify and Wi-Fi init steer underscore CLI.sh. Looks like an interesting one. What's this for? Not entirely sure what that is. Steer D. I don't know what that is. Some sort of daemon. Not sure what it's doing though. Somebody wants to look at Wi-Fi init. Usually those ones I don't find to be as interesting, but we can definitely look at it because that's just going to be setting up like the Wi-Fi side of the server and like all those tools. Yeah, see, it's just like this WCLI and BRCTL. Anyway, this is just so I'm just poking around like initial. I haven't looked at this yet here, so let's get out a bin here. And let's see. So you also notice we got these yellow ones here. So my terminal, what's that's saying is these are not directories. So what they are most likely is symlinks. So like if you go file, Etsy, for example, that's a symlink to dev null. So those are probably created on startup, like dynamically. Because the thing with the IoT devices, this is going to be read-only firmware, and then some parts of it are going to be dynamically created. So you see, for example, we've got like Etsy underscore RO, which is probably for read only. So I usually check. I like to check in Etsy and WebRoot are good places to look. So we'll do a bunch of them though. Let's see what's in Etsy actually first. So let's go. Just because I like looking in there. See. Okay, we got this 8 tool. So there's a lot of stuff in here that is good to take a look at. So like fstab, see what's being mounted. The init tab is usually good to take a look at. You should see what's in init.d as well. So a whole bunch of stuff here to take a look at. Let's cat out. Okay, a whole bunch of Mac stuff. Okay, so it's starting the, it's using the RCS here as the NIT. So that's right there. And then the TTYS0, so that's where we would log into the shell, is using this SU login. So we could check that as well since we want to get in. But yeah, right now I'm going to look in init.d here. Oops. Sorry, it was reading cat RCS. Okay, so this is something that I always look at first because this is what's running at startup. So even so, if this is what's like being called as soon as the boot loader like hands over to Linux and Linux starts up, then it's gonna the first process that gets spawned is going to be the init process, and it's going to do like all of this stuff. So you can see here where we're setting up here, disk root 755 mounting. So this is where we're mounting all of those file systems, like the ones that are not read only in RAM. So you can see like all the var stuff, copying from Etsy read only to var and to Etsy and setting up like WebRoot and all that stuff, because those are going to be like held in RAM as writable. So you can see where we're copying all that over, setting up TTYS0, printing out this stuff, runs this. So we should definitely take a look at that. This is interesting. This is setting up, looks like checking to see if the factory bin is here. So interesting. Also should probably try and translate all this Chinese because I don't know what this is saying. Loading up some kernel objects. That's interesting to see here. Some parameters. Nothing huge of interest here. Yeah, Wi-Fi stuff. VRAM. Interesting. Lots of loading kernel objects here. I like to see what stuff that it calls to. Yeah, it calls these. So interesting to see. And this one's commented out. Okay, so because one of the things sometimes you'll see like this, I'm gonna this I'm definitely gonna add to my notes and take a look at because it's what is it? It's checking for these paths. So sometimes sometimes there's ways to get into like debug mode if certain files are present or things like that, which you can load. So definitely going to spend some more time on that. So yeah, I'm going to copy all this stuff into my notes, by the way. I did see one other thing that I want to take a look at here. Yes. This. So I don't know if this is actually the root login password, but there's a good chance it is. So definitely going to try and crack this because this is the hash for root, which if we can get that, then because I did want to get a UART shell, so that's good to see. Is there anything else here I want to look at here? Let's see. Oh, we got the shadow file here too. So are they the same? No. Okay, so potentially another hash to crack here as well because they're different. So I don't know which one it's going to be using. We also should look at that SU login as well, probably. But yeah, some interesting stuff here to see. All right. Anything else juicy that we want to look at here? We looked at Etsy. Anything in sys? Anything in var? Sorry, is what I want to look. So Etsy in here. Is this just a blank? Yeah. This is all just probably going to be blank because this is probably just getting set up. Web root, though. Okay, interesting. Okay, so here's we've got all the HTML, we get CSS, some .cfg files, JavaScript. Okay, so it's interesting to see. This is where all this is all being served up from. PEM. Mostly just HTML stuff here. Some CFGs though. More looking for like the web server, but anyway, okay, so good to know this is here. Oh yeah, I wanted to look in CFG as well. Anything in here? Nope. It's that SU. I'm looking for that SU login that I saw as well. Don't see that. Okay, I have to try and find where that was. I thought it was an SBin, but maybe it was in bin. Maybe it was in user/SBin. I can't remember. Okay, anyway, so we got a few solid spots to start on here. So we did accomplish our goal today, though, which, all right, I see some people in chat here. What are we doing today? We are, or were doing some IoT hacking. So we pulled the firmware off of the router. We pulled the chip off the router, actually, with our hot air gun, popped it into our Xgeku, pulled the firmware off, and now I have been looking through the firmware here to see if I can find anything juicy. got some interesting stuff. Going to see if we can crack the hashes to get into the shell. Definitely a bunch of other stuff start poking around that too. Some interesting stuff to see in the init.sh. I am going to try and see if I can get my camera back online here though, so that I can chat with you guys. But it's frozen, so you can just see my face, but I'm just here not doing anything. Does this work? Nope. I'm back. Okay. All righty. Let's hide this away. Okay. So, kind of cool. I mean, I don't want to, I'm not just going to, we'll need to do a bunch of manual enumeration of this and definitely some reverse engineering. So, I'm glad we were able to get the firmware off, though. That's kind of cool. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. Sometimes I will say this warning when if you're doing chip off firmware extraction, it is very easy to break stuff. So yeah, good to see that we got the chip off and we're able to read it and got the firmware, because now we have a lot better shot at getting into the UART of this router and maybe find some other vulnerabilities. So very cool to see. Right now, I'm going to take any questions. If anyone's got any questions, let me know. I'm just going to look through the chat here, see if I missed anything. Yeah, so I think Josh dropped this in the chat, but let me see if I can find it here as well. And I'll show you. Yeah, here, let me go. Yeah, so Josh dropped this in the chat, this link, but this is the stuff that you should start with. So just scroll down. If you just want a list, here it is. So you get multimeter, logic analyzer. I recommend the Tiger, but yeah, some stuff to pull off your chips. Third hand's always helpful. Flash programmer. I like this. This one's cheap. Most likely would have worked for us with this, but I was using my XGeku. Yeah, this is what I would start with. And then check out this blog. It's all free too. And if you can do a lot of hardware hacking without buying, or not hardware, but IoT hacking without buying anything. So there's this video too. So lots of good free resources. I have a lot of free resources on IoT and hardware hacking. I usually use Ghidra. It's definitely not perfect, but I don't want to pay for any licenses. But there is some setups and tweaks that you can do to get MIPS working better. So yeah, Ghidra is usually my go-to though still. Okay, so if anyone has any other questions, feel free to drop them in. In the meantime, though, I do want to quickly call out, quick reminder, got the Black Friday sale going on right now. Really good deals. Do this once a year, so definitely check that out. Also, we had the AI hacking 101 course, my course, come out last Wednesday, so check that out. If you want a free option, there's also the AI Fundamentals 100 course came out recently. That is 100% free. So if your budget doesn't allow it right now, we do have that free tier. Check that course out. And then a lot of stuff happened in November for us. The PSAP, Practical Security Analyst Professional, comes out Friday. So stay tuned. A lot of people have been asking for that one. And it's perfect timing with the sale and it coming out, and you can get it for 20% off. Definitely check that out. And then, oh yeah, the really cool thing, also the chance to win that mentorship with Heath. I want to show this one on screen because this is so cool. So if you buy a live training or a bundle, you will be entered in a draw. First things first, you get this free Microsoft Security Copilot workshop. So not only you get the discount, you also get this, which is a pretty cool value. I like Microsoft Copilot, and I am definitely going to be taking this course. And then Where is it here? See if I can find it. Where's the details for that? You'll be entered also into, yeah, here we go. If you buy a bundle, you'll be entered into a random drawing to win a year of mentorship with Heath Adams, the Cyber Mentor. I mentioned this before. Heath is an excellent mentor. Really, really, really valuable thing here, not just for cybersecurity, but for like entrepreneurship, career advancement, all that stuff. Insanely valuable to have access to that. Super cool. So you can be entered into that if you get one of these bundles. This one coming soon, the Defender one, once that PSAP's out. So check back. But yeah, really appreciate everyone tuning in today. I'll be back again soon to continue doing more router hacking. So if you are enjoying following along with the series, I'll see you next time. We'll do some more firmware, reverse engineering. We'll probably get into that UART. We'll do all the things. So good to see everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by. I will see you 2 weeks time at the same time, and Prince will be streaming next Wednesday with the details about the PSAP. So have a lovely rest of the day, everyone, and I will see you again soon.